Welcome to Meet Houston Missions and the Simmons and Fletcher local podcast. I'm the host, Paul Cannon, managing partner at Simmons and Fletcher, PC, injury and accident lawyers. This is a special thing that we do just for the benefit of missions organizations so that they can find volunteers, people who have a heart to serve and need a place to serve. And it's also so people and organizations that need a place to serve, whether it's through your school, for your school purposes, for your church, or you just want to be a part of something bigger. This is a place to find those kind of organizations where you can get involved. Today, we have a very special guest, Lynda Dierker, the executive director of Sci-Hope. And if there was ever an organization that had opportunity, Sci-Hope has got more opportunities than most for-profit businesses, it seems like. So this is a great one to look into, and I'm really excited to get to have her as a guest and have her share with you. So Lynda, tell us a little bit about yourself and Sci-Hope and what y'all do.
Yeah, well, thank you for that introduction and inviting us to be on your program. And we're excited about what we do. We have a passion for our mission, which is making life better for kids. And just to give you a little history about our organization, it actually birthed out of a church, and it was Founder United Methodist Church. And at the time, the senior pastor, Dr. Godfrey Hubert, went on sabbatical, and he read a book by Reggie McNeil that was called Present Future. And in that book, it asked the question, if your church ceased to exist today, would the community miss it? And so I was part of the pastoral staff, and he brought that question back to us. And we all kind of said, well, our members might, but I don't know about in the community, because the way we did local missions was sort of that drive-by, throw a little here, throw a little there. And it wasn't really focused and intentional. So out of that whole thing, we ended up going to Dallas to something called Leadership Network and a missional renaissance. And that's where the whole idea at the very first meeting, Sci-Hope, the concept of a separate 501c3 that would be birthed out of a church, and the church would just let it go, let it fly out of its nest and just help start it. And the church committed to that mission to make life better for kids in Sci-Fair, when we recognized that 50% of the students in Sci-Fair ISD, the third largest school district in the state of Texas, more than 50% of the students are economically disadvantaged. And what did that look like? And school district need for the community to rally around all the kids. So every child has hope for a brighter future, and every child deserves to be well educated and become a productive citizen. So out of that whole thing, there was, that's where Sci-Hope birthed. That's what it was out of. It was out of Godfrey Hubert's vision for that. And the church rallied behind it. And we were in the middle of a capital campaign for a second campus on Fry Road. And part of the campaign was a human element. And so what that human element was, the first $1 million of that campaign would go to give Sci-Hope traction over a 3-year period. I was named executive director at the time. This was in 2011. I was named executive director, and Foundry funded me to be the executive director up until the point Sci-Hope grew large enough to be able to support the executive director position. And that has happened. So we did that intentionally because we wanted, as a separate 501c3, we wanted the community involved for funding, for corporate matching, and a lot of different things. It has to be a 501c3. We are faith-based, but it is separate from any denomination, any faith. And that's what we lead with, basically being the hands and feet of Christ in the community to students. And we do that with 9 different programs. We went to the school district and we said, what are your biggest needs? And that's kind of where we started. And our very first program, our first 2 programs, first one was the backpack feeding program, which we partner with the Houston Food Bank. And I had actually, this is an interesting story. I had actually gone to the food bank to become an agency because I wanted to rally the community and just get donations. And we'd put together bags of food and then we'd offer those to the students. And when I went to the training, the food bank at the time was just starting their Backpack Buddies program. And it was the same concept, but they would bag the food, they would deliver it to us, and then we would just distribute it. And you could just see God in all of that, because if we would have started with the way I had envisioned it starting, that might have been the only program that we ever had because it would have been so massive.
Right.
But we started with 2 schools with 80 bags of food, and now we're in a significant amount of schools. I don't have that exact number right now, but it's well over like 3/4 of the schools in Cy-Fair are on that
Wow.
backpack feeding program.
There's a lot
And
of schools in Cy-Fair.
there's like 90 something, 92, I believe. So it's exciting to see that process and that grow. The food bank, we're actually one of the only agencies for the food bank that actually delivers the food to us. We do the bagging ourselves. That's an opportunity for the community to come. We bag the food. We deliver it to the schools, and then the schools then get it in the hands of the students.
Now, do y'all
And we
have like
recognize
set data? I'm sorry to interrupt it, but that hits on a real good point of what we're all about here. Is does that have a set day that y'all have people come and do the bagging, or is it done by some sort of opportunity, a volunteer event?
no, it's typically on Mondays, and it's
Mhm.
not every Monday. It just depends on when we get the delivery of food and how much, that the Monday shift could bag that day. And if we have more, we put out another notice that we're going to have one in next. Typically, it's weekly during the school year. Then we also have a summer bagging program where we actually have to buy the food for that. That's not in collaboration with the Houston Food Bank. We either buy it or we have food drives, and we take that food, we bag it, and then we have usually in the summer like 5 to 7 different distribution points throughout the district. But what
Wow.
we recognized in that program is the elementary kids, the younger students, they don't have a problem with it. Um, but the older kids, there was a stigma attached to it.
Right.
And
Uh,
so it's like, how can we rectify that? Because a lot of the high schools, they aren't on the program, and it's not because students don't need it. It's because there's that embarrassment. And what
Peer
we have
pressure.
piloted is a food locker, and it is
Okay.
at Jersey Village High School. It
Okay.
is a refrigerated unit. And so we can offer produce, non-perishable items, just healthier types of options. And it's order ahead. So the families can order what the food bank has on hand for that program. Also includes non-perishables as well. So they get what they want. That's delivered to us. We bag it, we put it in the food locker, and they're given a time frame in which they have to pick it up. And then, so we have 69 families on that now. And the
Wow.
neat thing about the food locker, Paul, is they convert to freezers as well. And we
Oh,
can
wow.
do meat products. So every other week, it's about 50 pounds of food that they get with that program. And so we're excited about piloting it. They're very expensive. So that has
Okay.
grant money has to come into play if we're going to put more in the community. And of course, our goal will be, our long range goal would be to have one in every high school.
Wow.
And so that's kind of how it started. And it also started at the same time with our after school program. We call them Hope Centers,
Mhm.
and we have 4 of them. They're in apartment complexes, low income apartment complexes.
Okay.
And one is in a trailer park where we actually own the trailer in a trailer park. And
Did you say it was
it's
called
just
a boat center?
Hope
Hope
Center.
Center. Okay. Sorry, I
Hope
misunderstood you.
Center.
That
And
makes
it's
more
our
sense.
after school program. So it's a safe place for kids to go after school for, life skills classes, arts, crafts, tutoring. And, we do that at those different locations. We're also expanding into Waller, and we do have a Hope Center open in Waller. I'll just mention that because 2 of our programs that I've already talked about will be in the Waller expansion. Um,
Gotcha.
We have signed an LOI, and it's in the middle of being built out to our specifications. And we will have a Hope Center in Waller. We already use Waller United Methodist Church for that, or it's called Grace Methodist now. We use that space now, but we will have our own space for our after school program, along with our space for the backpack program in Waller, which we started up this school year, and then a counseling center
Wow.
that will be in that space. So it's exciting to move into the next neighborhood and expand with those three programs right now. So
Wow. Well, I
um,
tell you, looking at the website, I am just amazed at how many things this has expanded into, even having been born just in 2011, as you indicated. It's this is a full grown mission by now. I'm looking at this thing, and in addition to the stuff you've told us is already a lot, but I see things like you're teaching dual credit and advanced placement type classes for high school students and helping them get
we
in that.
Yes, we provide financial assistance for dual credit advanced placement classes for college readiness, and we also do career readiness with their certifications. They can get certifications in high school for
Wow.
auto
Okay.
mechanics, welding, cosmetology, culinary classes, and so anyone that's on free or reduced lunch, that's how we can identify them as being classified as being maybe not having the financial assistance that they need to do these things. That's how we classify the students that we will help.
Do you
It's
still
just the only way we have to do it. So now the Texas Bill 8 was passed in June. That
uh
will change dual credit because any student on free or reduced lunch will those fees will be waived.
Oh,
So
nice.
what that does for us, that's going to give us the ability to take the money that we've used for that program and divert it to our other programs. And that'll be part of expansion in Waller, our sports initiative, Dierker's Champs, our baseball initiative that we have, and that's in Title I schools where kids don't have the opportunity to play ball in elementary and middle school unless they're on these select teams that are very expensive.
Right.
So we provide that sports initiative. We lost our fields when the school district um, built the Performing Arts Center and the new administration building. And so we purchased land, and
Mhm.
we're in the process of a capital campaign to raise, unfortunately, it's millions of dollars, which is scary for me because this is the biggest project we've ever encountered or, actually have run with. But I have hopes that that funding will come in and we'll be able to have our own fields and have more control over the scheduling. And then it could also become an income generator for us to, host tournaments and other different things. So it's located right down from Pridgeon Stadium
Uh-huh.
and right next to Campbell Middle School.
Okay.
So we have 7 acres there, and we're just in the bidding process for that.
Wow. How exciting. Well, uh, I know you'll have other things as well going on. Tell us a little bit about the Sci-Hope Counseling and Speech Therapy.
Yes, we have our counseling center. We have eliminated the speech therapy because we were struggling with that, and there's other people in the area that do it, and they do it really well.
Great.
So it's just counseling. We have 18 licensed professional counselors, associates, and practicum students on staff. So we work on a sliding scale so that we can see anyone. We don't turn anyone away. That is a program that it's not just students. Everyone's our mission for that. So we can see families, we can see individuals. We have family counseling, we have grief counseling, we have counselors that specialize in autism on the kids on the autism spectrum. We also have play therapy for the younger kids that would be preschool or up to middle age elementary school students. And so lots of opportunities there if you need that mental and emotional health help. And that one thing about that it's sad to say is that it is so needed in the community in the country today. You see that mental health uh, issues as being
Sure.
a top funding opportunity for a lot of funders will fund that. And students are struggling, and families are struggling, and a lot of adults are struggling. So it's just to help them, navigate life with someone that's not a member of their family. And so uh, we have we have that as one of our income generators, but also because we work on the sliding scale, each of our counselors see about 10% of their clients pro bono
Mhm.
and at a reduced rate. So,
Nice. Well, I see also you guys have a number of camps that you do in addition to the baseball camp. It looks like you guys have a kind of a general children's summer fun type camp, and then you have a music camp as well. How is that going?
our summer camp is, we call it Camp Lemonade, and
Mhm.
where we take the kids is Stony Creek Ranch. And so we partner with them. We get special funding from certain organizations that help us with that. But Stony Creek Ranch will send kids to camp that don't have that opportunity for a camp experience. And it is a top rate place. It's in New Ulm, Texas,
Okay.
and it is a Christian camp. So, a lot of our programs, because it is happens in the schools, you're limited there. You can't, you know,
Right.
profess your faith. But at this camp, we make sure, all the kids, any parent that wants their child to go to our camp, they are told ahead of time. It is a Christian message. That's what they're going to get. If you don't want your child to have this Christian message, then this is not the camp for you. So that's
Understand.
the only stipulation. But this year, we had two of our older students that went actually became counselors.
Oh, how
Uh,
awesome.
and it's just neat to see. And we have that happening at our Hope centers as well, where the kids that have participated in the program, we have associates that help us with that, and they're paid associates. And when they get to high school and they're old enough to apply for a position, they go through that job interview process. And many of our students have become associates for us. So it's them giving back to a program that, and a lot of those kids go to the summer camp as well. So it's just neat to see that when those success stories happen.
Wow, how awesome. Well, let's see. I'm trying to go down this massive
Our ba-
checklist of all the things that you
yeah,
guys do and make sure we cover it all. I
yeah, our band camp has been postponed because of COVID,
Oh
but in
my,
2024 it comes back. So
awesome.
we are excited about that. And we do private instructions as well with that program. And that is if a child has an interest in an instrument, from what I understand, is they're not going to be able to go further with it unless they have private instructions. It's just not enough time in band class or
Right.
choral class. So we provide them with funding for private lessons. And the one success story I'll tell you there, one of our students that was in we call it PIP, private instructions program. And one of our students actually that was taking private lessons made first chair in his
Nice.
instruments. So success stories like that, just that's when okay, you are making a difference, that, just being able to give back and see. And it's one student at a time,
And
you
that
know,
kind of thing can translate to college scholarships too. So that,
correct.
you're
Mhm.
really setting someone off on a good foot when you help them in
Right.
that way. So that's awesome. Well, hey, tell us a little bit about the Ambassadors of Compassion mentoring program.
Yes, that's our high school mentoring program, and it's actually embedded in curriculum at Cypher ISD, and we are bringing that to Waller. That is also expanding into HISD, and it is a national program. The curriculum is called Ambassadors of Compassion. That's what we use. Our director of that is Katie Keisinger, and she works with Ambassador of Compassion to bring it outside of Cy-Fair and Waller. She actually runs the program for Cy-Hope and with our Cy-Fair schools and our Waller schools. And we have outside coaches, we call them coaches or mentors, that come into the classroom, once a week. And it's part of that curriculum, and it takes them. It's just life lesson. And they use the acronym LIFE, and what it stands for is, what are your hopes and dreams? Well, guess what? You got to work
Right.
for those hopes and dreams. And so L stands for labor. And then I stands for influences, the positive and negative influences in your life. And how do you deal with those negative influences? And a lot of times that's coming from inside their home.
Right.
And so dealing with those. And then to move forward in life, you've got to forgive, especially any negative influences. So F is for forgiveness. And then E is for experiences. And what we do with that is they actually, and the school district has approved this, they actually go to Impact Houston. Most of them, that's what they choose to do. And where they have a service day. And these are students that typically don't have that opportunity to go on field trips.
Mhm.
So they get to go on a field trip. And that right there is something that, they get this opportunity to not go to school and go somewhere else. And they cook for the homeless. They feed the homeless.
Oh,
They
how
go to
awesome.
recovery house. And so they see a different side of where you could live. And it's inside the city. So that's a new experience for them.
Wow.
And it's a great opportunity for those students. And I remember one year, a student coming out of the recovery house, and I was walking kind of behind him, and he was talking to a friend, and he just said, I just realized I'm one decision away from being there. And it changed the trajectory of his life. I mean, he just was like, that seeing where he could be, he said, that's not what
Wow.
I want. And
Yep.
so it just completely transformed the direction that he was heading. And so we have lots of stories like that. And it's just, neat to see that you are making a difference and that every child deserves that hope for a brighter future. It's not just about, they're our future, and with future leaders. And as we age out and uh, get older, who's going to come up behind us? And so anyone that just has retired or is staying at home or just has their businesses have community opportunities, community service opportunities, we encourage you to be a part and invest in it, even if you don't have kids that age anymore, because they are our future. They are our future leaders, and we've got to invest in all of them, because as a whole, we're going to be better. That it takes a village, and they are part of our village. And so coming alongside of them is important, whatever capacity it is. And I hope
Wow.
we have not only, opportunities to serve with the students, but, you can serve in other opportunities that don't have anything to do with the students, like bagging the food, but it helps the students.
Right.
And we have that same with our resale market. We have 2 resale markets, and that helps with sustainability. But all that funds go right back into our programs. So those people that work there, that volunteer there, they're part of the mission. What they do matters. What they're doing is, anybody, I tell our warehouse people and our volunteers, anybody that comes, drives through and donates something, they're a donor. They are important to us. And so everybody needs to get that same treatment. And we have one at Barker Cypress in 290. And
Mhm.
our newest one is in Katy at 99 and 529, right behind the new Target. So
I was going to say I'm familiar with the Hope Chest Real Sale Market that's over on at what is 12015 Barker Cypress Road.
correct.
Um, but I was not familiar with the one in Katy. I did not realize you had opened that one over there. Is that the
It wa
same name or
Same
different name?
name, it's just
Okay.
Hope Chest Katy,
Okay.
and, we it's, same concept. We just, wanted to open a new one. That one, is in an area where it will be growing. It is
Okay.
in, Target is there. There's an HEB that's gonna be going in there, so that whole area, so it's not gonna develop as quickly as our Barker Cypress one did, but, that's where, Cypress and the Bridgeland is gonna be in part of Bridgeland will be in Waller ISD. The
Wow.
community is just growing that way, so we're just gonna grow with it.
Okay.
It's slower than what our Barker Cypress, resale market produced, but we knew that ahead of time. We knew that it was intentional, it was very strategic. And so it's for the future, it's for the long haul.
Wow. Okay. That's good. It sounds like y'all are kind of planning for the future. Well, I'm looking at all this thing, and like I said in the beginning, you guys are involved in so many different aspects between the Hope Chest resale markets, the backpack programs, the Hope Centers, the Northwest Forest Volunteers. I don't even
Mhm.
know that we talked about those yet, and Dierker's Champs, Ambassadors of Compassion. All of these things require. It sounds like volunteers and
Yes.
employees to help, and sometimes one becomes the other. It sounds like over the long run. How do people get involved when they want to be a part of something like this?
Yeah, they can go to our website, sci-hope.org, and we do have a link
Mhm.
for getting involved with volunteer opportunities. And I think that link, you can specify specific programs that you would be interested in. And then we have a volunteer coordinator that, you know, s- spreads that information out to the correct program director, and then they'll get in touch with them and see. And some of it's cyclical. I mean, some of it's like, okay, our AOC, you want to be an AOC mentor. Well, you have to be trained for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have a training in September usually, and then again, if we need more mentors for the next semester, they'll be trained in January, and then that program doesn't happen in the summer. So that's just an example of some of them being cyclical. Our baseball initiative, we always need umpire. If you love ball,
Mhm.
you get trained, and we need umpires, we need coaches, we need concession stand workers, and money for fields too.
That's good. We don't throw a baseball at anyone until they're trained, right?
Right. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that is
So
awesome. So there's lots of opportunities then if people want to volunteer with any of these different organizations and our sub organizations, I should say, that are projects that are going on within the Sci-Hope uh, village, as you put it earlier.
yes.
You guys also host a number of fundraisers for people who just kind of want to get involved, but maybe don't have the time to actively get involved, but have the ability to contribute or attend a function here and there, that sort of thing. Why don't you tell us about some of the various fundraisers that you guys have?
Yes, well, we have a golf tournament and a gala, and it's the Larry Dierker Celebrity Golf Tournament. And then our gala is connected with that, but not at the same time. So our
Okay.
golf tournament this year is actually November 2nd at Black Horse. If you want to be a sponsor, we will take you as a sponsor if you want a team.
Mhm.
And you can go to our website and see that. And then our gala is going to be on November 4th, Saturday, and you
Okay.
can still get tickets for that. It's on our website, and currently, and then we update it every year. That's an annual event. So if you're listening to this after those dates in 2023, just go online, and see when the upcoming year would be. And then we have a clay shoot that happens in April, and we have the Cypress Market actually on our property, and it is we have artisan vendors that come, and it's really a fun night. We have a band on Friday night, VIP night, and then on Saturday it's just the market, and we have about probably 80 vendors here, and it's just a fun event. You can shop. It's a spring market, so you can shop for Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays. Um,
And where is that location at?
that is at our headquarters, which is at Northwest Forest Conference Center, the old Quick Copy. It's at 12715 Telge. We're in the very back. we actually purchased this property for our headquarters, our counseling center, our backpack feeding program, and we also can do events here. It's one of our income generators, and we have a replica of the Alamo where we have these events. So, and a Hope Lodge, which is just a lodge that can have an event for about 100 people. Our uh, the Alamo can have an event for whether it's a graduation party, it can be a wedding reception, a wedding. We just have lots of businesses come in and I'll have a business meeting or a Christmas party, anything like that. That is that can seat any up to probably 250, 250 to 280.
That's a
That
fun.
might be pushing it, but so smaller, a smaller venue, with some that have the capacity to seat 500. It's not a hotel
Right.
ballroom, but
But it's a very
certainly,
pretty venue. I remember that, I think we sponsored the event last year, or
yeah.
one of the sponsors, I should say, of the event last year. And my wife may have outspent the sponsorship money just in all the different vendors she saw out there. But,
So it's a very fun event. All of our events are,
yeah, it was a
and then
neat
we
property.
have people that put on events like Mark Mishaffrey puts on his backyard bash that benefits Sci Hope. That's
Oh, nice.
uh, Backyard Grill does that, and then a Taste of Sci Fair, which just happened in October 7th. That fundraiser benefits Sci Hope, but it's not our event. So the four I mentioned are our events that we run, and all any proceeds go towards all our programs.
Now, I know at one point y'all had a golf classic at Jersey Meadows, and then y'all had a golf shootout at Black Horse. Are y'all still doing two different golfing events, or y'all consolidate that?
No, that was we did that 2 years, and we had in when COVID hit, the pandemic hit,
Mhm.
we had to cancel our golf tournament in November.
Okay.
So we did the Winter Classic that February. The next year, we we tried it to do two, and then we made the decision that it just wasn't feasible for us to do it with when we have all with these others. So we decided we're going to pull for golf. We're putting everything in the Larry Dierker Celebrity Golf Classic and not doing the
Gotcha.
Winter Classic.
Only got time for so much.
That's
And
right. And
those could be very
then
time
all our
consuming.
programs that that we have to run. I have a fabulous staff. They're all leaders. They could all be doing something in for-profit world, making a lot more money than they make. But they have a passion for our mission, and all our staff, they're just amazing and incredible. And our volunteers. I mean, just we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have engineers, we have people, they are retired, or some of them aren't even retired, but they just come and they give back. And banks and bank executives, bank employees, just it's across the church workers, church volunteers from all sorts of different congregations are, key in our success. It's the community. It's the community.
Wow.
NCL groups, key clubs, football teams, baseball teams, basketball teams. Just they surround us, and we appreciate all the high school clubs, all the NCLs, the community that rallies behind us, the businesses in our community that just rally behind us and buy into the mission. They want that for our community because we're only as strong as we are the kids in our community and in our public school system. Uh,
Wow. Well,
that determines a lot of things. So
I know you guys are doing a lot of stuff out there. I hope we've covered it all, but just in case, is there any other of y'all's events or missions or projects that I didn't cover in this interview?
I don't think so. I think you did a great job covering them all. I don't think we missed out on anything. If
Awesome.
shame on me if we did.
I think we got there. I couldn't,
Yeah.
I didn't see anything else on the website, but I tell you what, it goes on and on and on and on. You guys are really, you got your hand in everything good out there in the Cypress area, and I definitely appreciate it living out in the area. I tell you what, I thank you for being on here. Just so the public knows, if they want to get in touch with you, they can still call 713-466-HOPE to reach Sci-Hope and to find out more about any of these projects. And then the website where they can learn about all of this stuff at would be www.sci-hope.org, correct?
That's correct.
And from there, they can learn about how to get involved in any of these various missions and what kind of volunteering opportunities they have and who they need to talk to. I know it looks like my recollection, at least, was that every single one of those had their own kind of coordinator they could reach out to
Yes,
for different ones. And I'm going to go ahead and
correct.
try and make sure I list all those correctly on our website if I can, just to help with traffic finding the right place. But I know if they don't find it there, they can find it on your website. And they'll at least reach out and get put in touch with the right person, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome.
So,
Well, Lynda, thank you for being a guest on the show. Again, this is Meet Houston Missions. I'm the host, Paul Cannon, and the Simmons and Fletcher Local Missions Podcast is here for organizations just like Lynda's that want to get their name out, that want to get out there in the public eye as much as they can, so that people who want to have a place to serve can find a good place to serve that is actually doing good stuff right here in your own backyard for people that are your neighbors. Lynda, thank you so much for being on.
thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Take care.
Bye-bye.